Here we have to my right Joan McFidel, and as she's known in the streets, Joan. Joan is our community manager for Clout Africa, and we have here to my left Pheabian, who is basically the operations, the client service, basically our quasi CEO at Clout Africa. She makes everything happen. And to my far right, we have Tejumola, photographer, music aficionado. What else? Professional fine boy,
Big Daddy.
Sugar,
sugar
sugar daddy,
daddy,
yeah.
part-time sugar daddy. And we have here Motolani Alake to my far left, music critic, Pulse NG,
Editor in
Terms
chief.
and Conditions podcast, amongst other, businesses. And here we're here to discuss the nominees for the first edition of the Clout Awards. And I would like to start with one of the most interesting categories, which is Best Sound Engineer. Because at Clout, we looked, when we were creating this award, we had about 220 nominations from industry stakeholders. And what we wanted to achieve with the award was to have something that celebrates categories that are very vital but are overlooked in general award categories in Nigeria and in Africa as well. So I would like to start with the best sound engineer category. Here we have nominations with Timmy J, Alpha Ogini, Studio Brats, which is Simi, Mixmaster Gazi, and Michael Goofy Morari. So I would like to start with Motolani. Who do you think stands out for you in this category?
I've been on the record several times saying that in terms of sound engineering, the best album last year in Nigeria was Leah's EP. And the guy that did a chunk of the best bits of sound engineering on the project is Alpha Ogini. And aside from that, Ogini is, a lot of people don't know, is focus, right? When you hear the detail in the guy's sound engineering, it's obviously crazy. And I'm still going to go back to that Leah's EP. If you hear the way he mixed Lucky Riboto, right? The, I can't explain it. You have to listen to it
Spiritual.
on Apple Music, especially because the mix on Apple Music is different from the mix on other platforms. If you listen to the one on Apple Music, you understand what I'm talking about. So yes, Alpha Genie, easy.
What about you, John?
Um, so I'll definitely agree with Motolani in the sense that let's even put in the fact that Alpha is not just a mix and mastering engineer. This guy is a fucking rapper. Probably one of the best producers I've met in this industry. And I didn't realize his work till I listened to his project Chameleon. When I listen to the song, so I pay attention to sounds. I know when something is high. I know when you're intentional about doing a particular sound in the music. So I thought I was intentional about that album. I think that's when I started noticing him and I started paying more attention to him. So the Leah's EP was just it was a madness because if you listen to that album, you know that there was so much intention. There was it was trying to play with our minds, trying to play with the sounds. Everything was just on point. He just knew what to do to give you goosebumps. He knew what to do to make you calm. Definitely about Jenny for me. I hope you get it. But being a woman, I want to say Simio, but I've seen Alpha work, so definitely Alpha for me.
All right. So that will basically move us to the next category where we people will say they are the ones that are basically driving the music industry now. We were the producers, right? So we have P Prime, London, Nifki, Scorpion King from South Africa, and Mass Music. So Tejumala, what would you say stands out for you as a winner in this category? I mean, they're all winners, but who would you say stands out for you?
It's a bit tough, but personally, I go with Prime. Right. And the reason why I go for Prime is I can give you a bit of perspective. So I've had the privilege of filming a lot of top artists
Yeah.
when they record and make music. I've had the privilege of seeing how diverse Prime can be with the sound. Not just diverse, but also lead the music, right? Because at the end of the day, to lead the music is what defines the music, right? And Prime has done it on so many levels, like all the way from producing a whole album with Asha to your pop records on the streets to melodies with Tenny Makanaki to the range is wild. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So Prime definitely stands out. Every other person in that category is hard. I definitely look forward to Scorpion Kings is I can't even lie, man. They did something to the world, man. There's something about, something about that sound. But Prime stands out for me, and I genuinely want to see who leads this category because I think everyone there is a winner.
Yeah. So I'll get to Motolani first, but
I
I
just
like
want to ask a quick question.
Yes, please.
When's the year review?
So that's from May last year to May this year.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, I'll go with P Prime as well, and it's just because I am
Prime has
looking
fans.
at because
Yeah.
because
I don't think
Tolani-
I don't think
project
Motolani
is-
agrees, but
past year because
Yeah, yeah.
let's look at it from the pandemic, from loading to Fireboy and Peruzzi to Wizkid to Asha. It
To
is
Zazu.
extensive
Zazu,
and all
bro.
within it's like we're looking at a year.
How do you go from Zazu
Do
to
you
Asha,
understand?
bro?
And it's extremely diverse. You're looking at alternative with Asha. We're looking at Zazu. Scorpion Kings for me, they stand out as well because it's almost like the whole Amapiano is
The whole
cast at
genre,
this one.
yeah.
And DJ Maforisa. But just because for me, P Prime has not had like a long run like Scorpion King, you understand? And he has done that much and he has achieved
He has
so
actually
much.
done
You
so
understand?
much.
That's why for me, I'll go with
Motolani.
Prime.
I think you guys are forgetting you guys are ignoring a very key name on this list, and the name is very simple. His name is Nifki. He was the hottest Nigerian producer last year. Easy.
But can we agree that if Kids has a particular genre he pushes to? P Prime is someone that's worked extensively. If Kids is like
What's the criteria for this genre? For this?
best
Producer
producer.
of the year, just
You
best
have to be
producer.
versatile now.
So if we're looking at producer of the year, right?
Yes.
I believe we're going to go with the amount of hits they produced, right?
Okay.
Results, yeah.
P Prime, in terms of ability, is better than Afrobeat producers on this list. Is better than all of them. Let's not lie. It's simple.
We are
No
lying
be me
if you
talk
say let's
am
not
Who, is the,
lie.
who are the
We
other
are lying if
Nifkis?
you're saying let's not
We have
lie.
Scorpion Kings.
No, he's saying Afrobeat.
Afrobeat.
Oh, okay.
So we have Nifkis, London, P Prime, Scorpion King, Mass Music.
London is great.
London
I
is
expected
great.
you to say
London has had a
London,
great
but-
year.
Yes.
But in terms of when it comes to greatness in 10 years, we're going to be talking about P Prime. He's going to ascend to that level.
Facts.
True.
Yeah.
Already, he has like 3 incredible albums under his belt. Under his belt in less than 2 years. Go figure, right? So when it comes to ability, you can't touch it. But Nifkis, if there is going to be a difference, it's probably going to be very close. Because Nifkis had 7 hits in 2021.
We're not
7.
looking at hits now, are we?
But it's
It's-
producer of the year.
We
Yeah.
should
I mean,
look
it's
at
just
hits
part of
for
criteria
producer
for
of the
this
year.
category,
We have to
sorry.
figure out what the criteria is. So
Yeah.
if it's about like mastery and everything, yes, P Prime. It's about hits.
Then that's where
Go
we
for
should end it.
Nifkis.
All right, so let's
What?
move
That's where we should
quickly.
end it.
And what?
Let's
Prime.
It's not
That's
ending
what we
this.
should end
I don't agree. I mean, we should clearly define the category. Okay, is it musical excellence? For example, Grammys.
correct.
Non-classical, classical. We know that classical is about like mastering the music. Non-classical is about like hits and albums and everything. So it depends on what it is. I mean, if you say P Prime, I'm not going to disagree, but you can't then short Scorpion Kings, bro. 2 albums within that period. Another album with Tresor. Come on. It's closer than you guys are making it out to be. It's very close.
All right. So speaking of basically relationships between different professionals in the industry, say with the producer, the sound engineer, let's move to collaboration. This is like, relationship between artists. We have best collaboration here. First of being Jackie, Omale, Musa Keys and Louis Selema, Doban Gogo, Mpura Mavenja, Kuza Gogo. We have Mayoko and Victoni, with Holy Father, and we have Adekunle Gold and Davido High. So, Pheabian, what is your collaboration of the year? You joke.
That's very. What's my collaboration of the year? It's tough.
Should we come
It's
back to
actually
you?
tough. Yes, let's come back to me.
All right. So,
Let's come back to it.
Motolani,
Please read it out again.
Adekunle Gold, featuring Davido, High, Miyokun and Victoni, Holy Father, Doban Gogo, Umpura Mavenja, and MJ Kuzagogo, Musa Keys and Louis, Selema, Jackie, and Omale Forever, the remix.
Oh.
It's tough, man.
Okay, what's your
That's
top
really-
three? What's your top two?
So if I'm going to be looking at top three is very easy.
Yeah, that's why I said top two.
Let's say top three is going to be Koragogo, Omale and Jackie, and Adekunle Gold and Davido High.
Okay.
The reason I'm going to go for I might lean towards Jackie and Omale is because two countries.
Yes.
It's an African award. I might lean towards that.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at even though High is
Monster It.
It's
Yeah.
smart
Out of
shit.
here.
Yeah.
but Korago, bro.
Kuzagogo.
Korago, bro. Playlist domination on all platforms. Because people had to be forced to recover the record. So I don't know, man. I'll let everybody else decide.
Tejumola.
It's really tough.
I personally, I think it's a tough category. I can't pick one. I have a bias for.
But let everybody just pick their top three then.
I
Top three.
I have a bias for
That's fine.
Adekunle Gold and Davido.
Yeah.
That record was very, very
Is
very, very definitive for
the genre.
AG Baby, right? And that transition into pop culture space in that way. The Jackie and Omale record is really heavy. It did. Ghana was on, was heavy. Those are my two picks personally. So
Your top two, John. Before
A personal favorite is definitely Musa Keys. I think it's very underrated. Selema is a fucking hit, by the way, if I may add. I heard that in a club and I was like, okay, there's something happening with this magic and I love it. So I think that collab, I see why it's there. But then we have Adekunle Gold High. Really high. What are we talking about? It's like this high, it's Davido, shouty, shape me up and down. Like, so I think that's definitely my top two.
Amphibian.
So yeah, High definitely Adekunle Gold and Davido, Omale and Jackie, and Doban Gogo.
All right.
Yeah.
So moving on to a particular, set of people that mostly overlooked. Who some of them are artists, some of them are songwriters. Songwriter of the year here we have Peruzzi, Adekunle Gold, Victoni, Blackie from South Africa, and King Promise from Ghana. I would start with John. Who is your songwriter?
Can you call the list again?
Peruzzi, Adekunle Gold, Victoni, Blackie, and King Promise.
Okay, I'll personally pick Peruzzi. I think right now I've become a Peruzzi fan. I don't know how that. I think. Thank you, Kim, for putting me on. For putting me on to this song. You guys, if you not listen to it, Peruzzi Ready.
Yeah.
That should be number one already. But apparently Nigerians are sleeping on good music. Peruzzi writes. Have you listened to Basket Mouth and Peruzzi Seloui? Peruzzi is a fucking writer. This guy knows, he's very intentional with what he's doing. Every melody he makes, he takes, like he knows what he's doing. He knows when to go high. He knows when to not go high. He knows how to make it a story. And I think that's why Peruzzi should be my top pick, definitely.
Pheabian.
So it's interesting, yeah. Um,
We'll start something with so it's interesting. Yeah,
it's
they are
interesting.
confused.
It's interesting because I like Blackie a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Blackie.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Blackie.
Why
If I think
Blackie?
I think I voted.
Why Blackie?
Have you listened to Blackie?
It-
Though?
I don't
it's
think
a
I've listened to a lot
it's
of
a solid
Blackie.
album.
Okay, thank you for telling me that. Immediately after this table, I definitely enjoyed a couple of his songs. What? Blackie is a beast. But yeah,
Yes.
I'll go for
Tejumola,
Blackie.
then I'll go to Motolani so that I can cook it up.
For me, I have no personal favorites in this category, but the category itself is my win.
Mm.
Right? I feel like songwriters in these climes are not celebrated enough.
True.
Right? Like I've seen firsthand how the input of songwriters defines how the music comes out. Right? And unfortunately, we don't have a history of properly
Rewarding this-
recognizing
yeah.
and rewarding songwriters in this side. So the fact that we're having this conversation where we're highlighting songwriters,
Shout out to Clout.
there's even more people. Shout out to Cloud because there's
Shout
even
out.
more
Yes.
people that I feel like should be in this category that are not
course.
here. But it's a step. So the category is the win for me.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And Motolani.
I think I'm going to my top two in this category will be Blackie and Adequate Gold. For simple reasons. If I'm going to think about the year review, Peruzzi, I think in terms of writing Lamba, nobody's touching Peruzzi in this
But
category.
that's what we like, Lamba.
Yeah, but at the same time, the rules can't change because we are going to focus on one thing alone, right? Can we? Adequate Gold released an album filled with incredible songwriting,
True.
right? And he also wrote for Simi on some Simi records, I believe.
Even some Davido records.
Even a few
Yeah.
Davido records, but not during the year review.
Yes.
The records that he wrote, the new records are not out yet.
Yeah.
But then when we're going to Blackie dropped this EP in 2020, I believe. The one that really blew him up in 2020. And the record blew all the way. The impact ran into 2021. But then he has released another one this year as well, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's released another one this year. No, he has released another one this year. The guy brings elements. Like he's not the person that should blow up in the midst
I
of
feel like he can do
Amapiano.
rock music if
Like-
he puts his heart to
In the
it.
midst of Amapiano, he's not the guy. When every other person is coming down, they chop beans because Amapiano is killing everybody.
Like
Right?
Yeah.
He's getting and is gaining reps. And it's not just the fact that he's a genre band that I can rap as well. If you want to listen
Yeah.
to it
Who,
properly.
sorry?
Blackie.
Blackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
The things he can talk about, depression, women, sometimes even drugs, sometimes if you listen properly.
Yeah, range.
Yeah, it's a lot of range. So I think Blackie is the winner in the category, yes.
All right. So moving on to a particular genre that has been bone of contention in the news, hip hop. Bone of contention in the news, hip hop. A few days, weeks, Rick Ross was here. Shout out to Rick Ross. And there were a few conversations as to who met who and who didn't allow who to see who. And there were opinions shared as well. So we have here Best Hip Hop. Ladipo being the first there. Black Bones, Psycho YP, Joey B from Ghana, and Blackie again from South Africa. So I would start with Tejumola while Motolani thinks of the best, most diplomatic answer to give.
For me, it's a bit easy. I go with Ladipo in that category, even though it's not that easy actually, because I feel like Blackbone deserves an award of his own
Yeah.
for how he's elevated the genre in
Marketed it even.
marketed. It's a form of elevation because
Yeah.
the hip hop community has been slacking on so many things. There's so many holes in how the hip hop community itself in Nigeria presents itself, and it's why there's a lot of criticism and people overlooking the genre as is. Ladipo is definitely a top favorite for me, closely followed by Black Bones in that category.
John.
I think you answered it already. Well, you didn't really answer it. He's I like that he said Black Bones deserves his own category. So
I
that's
think so.
it's definitely Black Bones for me because it's just taking as much as people like to argue that Black Bones has switched from hip hop to Afrobeat. I think he has made it his own style and he made it work. Ladipo is a great guy. I love you, Ladipo, but Black Bones has this one for me. He has done a good job at it.
Motolani.
Um, tough category. Think tops in this category would definitely be Black Bones and Blackie for me. Easy.
The black men.
What's your thing with Blackie? I just
this
really
is
want
the
to
thing.
know.
You
Why
listen,
are
listen
like,
to
like,
Blackie.
you need
So,
to exactly.
so Tolani, I want to
I
put
need to
something
really
to
know
you.
what you guys are.
I want to put
on.
something
Blackie
to you.
is-
Here's listen to
I feel like being a great hip hop artist means being a great A&R,
true.
right?
Being able to
Why?
it depends on what
Because-
you're making.
Because for you to make pop like records that become like huge and big as a hip hop artist, you need to be able to cross genres in a
Okay.
way. You need to be able to capture a wider
That's
audience.
why Black Bones is winning this.
It's what Ladipo has been able to do.
Has he?
Um,
Has
Right.
he? Think about it.
Yes,
No.
not
I think.
in a way that deserves credit. Right,
What type of credit are we looking at?
to be nominated in this category.
I like this.
But then
I
Black
like this
Bones has
angle.
also been able to like.
And yes, Blackbone has been excellent at that.
Why that?
So you mentioned it as a discredit to Ladipo.
No.
Sorry, to Black Bones, that he's been making some records that are not as hip hop. But I disagree. I think that's actually to his credit.
I actually think people who even say that are very, very wrong. First things first.
Yeah, actually.
Black Bones is still very much rapping.
Yes, 100%.
Listen to his project. His last album, Sex Over Love. He was rapping on the project.
Yeah.
Easy. And even when he wasn't rapping, he was song rapping.
True.
Right? He was flowing, coasting.
Admin.
I'm going to talk about Ladipo. Ladipo has made incredible leaps in the last 2 years. Incredible ones, like giant leaps. But it just feels like he's making the records, but it feels like the records are sort of bigger than him. Do you understand? Blackburn sold he sold Mario Kola Park. It's very difficult to imagine that Ladipo might do the same. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Facts, though. It's facts.
You understand? So, and then he dropped an EP. All of a sudden, the only thing that everybody's thinking about is still the hit records. So I can't go for that. I'm sorry. Let's go for. I think it's going to be Blackie and Black Bones. I might go for Black Bones because in terms of the hit records,
Yeah.
the bigger hit records, which is Bling in this conversation, might tilt towards Black Bones a little bit, just a little bit, and because his album was also longer.
So he took a little risk.
Blackie was dropping EP. Blackie dropped EPs. Ladipo dropped an album. I mean, Black Bones dropped an album, I think 14 or 15 tracks, and then dropped a deluxe. So I think I'll go for Black Bones.
Yeah, I'll go for Black Bones as well. And I still want to like highlight the fact that Black Bones has been able to like make hip hop very, very commercial.
Yeah.
And there's something about Black Bones, like he's a guru when it comes to PR. And he does it like by
Effortlessly,
himself.
yeah.
Just social media. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I feel like the year in review, Black Bones has been able to
Stand
really
out.
prove, he has been able to stand out and show, oh, yes, I can rap, I have the bars, I have all of this. At the same time, I can still be commercial.
True.
That's
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Another credit to the guy is not Black Bones is not supposed to be here. Like he's not supposed to
My
be.
guy.
No. Listen.
No, I'm actually agreeing with you.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Black Bones is not supposed to. Is not supposed to
Do
be
you know?
here.
yeah, true.
It shouldn't be here. The guy is a rap. It's a battle rapper, right?
Yeah.
I remember
So
those ciphers.
it's not the guy that should be here.
From
Not
the trenches
the guy
of
at all.
OAU.
But
Yeah.
he's here. So
He's
that's
here.
very commendable.
That's interesting. I think we all just agree with Black Bones. Okay.
All right. So let's take it a bit to church. I have no say in this because I don't think I've been in church in like 15 years.
Wow.
So let's say best gospel artist. We have
Start with Pheabian.
here
Ciao.
Mercy Chinwo, Sinach, Moses Bliss, Islay or HLE from South Africa, Tim Godfrey, and Limo Blaze. So I would start with
Motolani.
Yeah, actually.
Motolani 'cause
I think this one is pretty easy, to be honest. There was a name that I was expecting, but I'm not going to put it. But let's move on with what we have. Limo Blaze dropped an album last year, if I'm not wrong. Tim Godfrey dropped an album last year, if I'm not wrong, as well. I think Limo Blaze's album was more impactful than Tim Godfrey's album, but Tim Godfrey's album was better critically. Um, but Messi Chinwo, in terms of this category, Sinach also dropped an album last year.
I have a question
Did
after
she?
this, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
I'm thinking of the year in review, right?
Oh yeah, that's the album that had Rick Asani on it. Was this in that?
I think that was no. I can't even remember the features on Snatch's album. Messi Chinwo dropped an album in 2020, but the buzz of the album ran into 2021. But the buzz sort of died around Q3 2021. So I'm probably going to go for shit. Messi Chinwo still, because of the status of Messi Chinwo. Messi Chinwo's, she gets called everywhere. She's the trendy new one now. In terms of if there was a number one, you probably still go for Messi Chinwo. So I'll go for Messi Chinwo. Right.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah, you
please?
can.
How do you find time? Motolani, this is for you.
Yeah.
How do you find time to listen to all these genres like gospel?
That's what it does for
God
you.
have mercy, but gospel.
Gospel music is amazing.
I know it's amazing, praise the Lord, but gospel.
Yeah.
How do you find time to like listen to all this? I know your points. Like
I
don't
have
get
I have a fear of missing out that I embraced a long time ago.
Okay.
So if I feel like I get anxious if I don't listen to something, right?
Okay.
So instead of just ignoring it, if I don't like it, I'll take the pain.
Face your
and
fears.
listen- Exactly. and listen to it. You get what I mean? So because at the end of the day, someone has to listen. Because I feel like someone needs to be able to keep track of all these things. That's how I feel.
That's why we have you. So thank you.
Shout
I
out
wanted
to
to give you
Motolani.
some-
Shout out to
Culture
Motolani.
custodian.
Check on that table.
Let's move to Pheabian.
Joe was trying to put me on the spot there. She's Pheabian first, and she knows so well. Like
You're going to
this is
heaven,
not
Joe.
my
I'll
best.
be
This is
Pheabian.
not my best category.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I haven't listened to a lot of these people's projects. But if I just want to go off of
Track record.
like hits that I've heard in like the past 2 years, I think it's between Mercy Chinwo and
Sorry, can I change my vote?
Sure.
it's
I
between
think I'll
Mercy
go for Moses,
Chinwo
please.
and
I didn't know.
what's
Yeah.
her name now? I just don't know if I'm
think I'm
correct
going for
about the
Moses,
year
please.
Sinach drops that song,
I'll go for Moses, please.
but it's between Mercy Chinwo and Sinach for me.
All right. Tej, who would you?
No comment. I'll listen
like,
because
okay.
Take this table out of it.
And-
Take this side out of it.
All right.
Moses, please.
All right.
Why was this, please?
why don't?
What? Okay. Okay. I want to
We
think
get
if
to
they
be
are hits,
guided.
why haven't I heard them? But never mind. I know why I haven't heard them.
All right. So let's move to something a little bit
Spicy.
spicy. Best alternative album.
Like that.
The list here we have The Caveman, a personal favorite. Ira Star, 19 and Dangerous. Johnny Drill, Before We Fall Asleep. Amare, The Angel You Don't Know. Msaki, Platinum B Art, Heartbeating from South Africa. And Muzi with Intergalactic.
Okay, before we delve in, I need Kolakbo to answer something. What defines this category? What do you mean by best
Basically songs that are not in the mainstream, like albums that are mainstream sounds.
Ira Star is a pop star.
It's not,
I
but,
disagree.
But I don't agree with that
I-
in the sense that like the sound is considered. There's no pop music culture in Nigeria, so is it that mainstream or there?
And even if you are saying pop music,
Um,
isn't pop music Afrobeat?
And that's my personal opinion.
I think here's what I think. My opinion on this is Arasta's album is an R&B album,
Yeah. Nobody's
It's an
disagreeing with that.
right? So in terms of being an alternative album, if you are saying let's classify everything that is in pop as alternative,
Yes.
I can get that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the genre description of Arasta's 19 and Dangerous, it's an R&B album.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic.
It was the best album Nigeria produced last year.
I agree as well.
I
This one,
actually
Beautiful
agree.
album.
Easy. So by that, I'll easily go for Arasta in this category. But if we're going to talk about an album that is an alternative album, like
For real, for real.
alternative,
Yeah.
Genre based.
I might go for. Please read out the nominations
You
again.
must go.
The
you
Caveman,
must
Love
go.
and High Life,
Yeah.
Ira
You
Star,
must
19 and
see,
Dangerous,
you
Johnny
must
Drill,
see.
Before We Fall Asleep,
Yeah.
Amaray, The Angel You Don't Know, Saki, Platinum Beard, Beating, and Muzi, Intergalactic.
Msaki, I believe Msaki won like album of the summer. I believe he won one album category as summer last year, if I'm not wrong. Who? I'm going to go for Amaray.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Good
did see that
album.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's the
sorry.
album I
It's a
listened to the
fantastic
most on
body of
that-
work.
on that
It's
list.
so
I
good.
agree.
If
that list.
anything from that category, she's the album, bro. The songwriting, the imagination, the genre plays, the way she was,
She
the
worked with a
production,
whole lot of people
bro,
on that album, from songwriters,
Writing.
producers.
playing with genres, playing with
Mixing.
personalities, playing with sex,
Sounds,
bro. I think
Have you
it's-
listened to Moses' album Intergalactic?
I have.
I think I love Arasta. She would definitely take my album of the year
Yeah.
because it's just fucking Arasta. But you see, Muzi,
Yeah.
I not heard Muzi till this awards show.
Okay.
I was like, okay, let me see why this guy is on this list. And I see why the fuck he's on this list
Yeah,
because
it's a lit.
dude knows his music. He knows he knows what sound to fit what sound. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense, but
Yeah.
it was very impressive. So I think if not Irasta, which I love by the way, I will pick Muzi.
Fair enough.
All right.
I don't think I personally don't feel Aresta should be on this list. Not because her
What
body
list
of
do you
work
put Ira Star on?
isn't great. I just don't. The alternative space,
I really think of it as a genre as well.
there's so much definition
We've
that
had a
needs to
lot
come
of
with that.
what
Yeah,
type of
it needs to
conversation.
come
We've
with
had
the
a lot of
alternative
conversation
space.
about
It's an R&B
Arasta.
album.
But my
being
pick
on
would
this,
be
like-
the Caveman.
Fair enough.
That would be my pick.
I don't think this album is as
Personally.
good. I think it's the cause of a fantastic debut for them.
Yes.
Okay.
The pressure is
Love and
high.
Highlight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bar was set so high that this album, even though this album hasn't hit that, people are going to judge them by that
By
standard.
that time. But I
It's
still
unfortunate,
think
Roots,
but
yeah.
still, I still don't
sonically
think it's
great.
a better album than. I don't think it's a better album than Ira Star, or if we're going by what's on this list. But if we're going to by Ira Star's genre, I believe the standard still remains what 50 to 60% of the album represents,
Yeah.
and 50 to 60% of Ira Star's album was R&B. Yeah, but in this category, sorry, Angel, you don't know, please.
The Angel You Don't Know.
So let's move
shout out to
to
Amaray.
The Angel You Don't Know.
to the
But was I was I released during the year review though?
Amaris
It
I
was-
don't know.
It was.
It was.
It came out like
No, it came out 2020,
Ending of
but
2020.
it blew up.
Yeah,
it blew
in
up in
2021.
2021.
in Nigeria.
But
at
does
least.
that still
Yeah.
count though?
I can't.
Of course it
counts?
doesn't.
Shouldn't we look at when it was
Depends on the
released?
rules of the
It depends on the rules.
on the rules. They say the rules. Look at
Secret
the
album
impacts. During
still-
the,
I mean, Love
Okay,
Wanting
okay,
is
okay,
like
true,
how many
true,
years
true,
ago?
true.
So let's move to the tastemakers here. Who are the DJs? DJ of the year. We have a personal favorite, DJ YK Mule. DJ K Wise.
Waris.
DJ Titanium, Doban Gogo, and DJ
Go, go.
Yes.
and DJ who was the last one?
Janelle. That's on my list, DJ.
Ooh, nah.
So I'll start with Tej. Who's your top pick? Everybody gets one. There's
Wow,
no
wow,
top
wow.
Brother.
Wow, 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 wow.
Warisi.
Ah.
Do you
Crossing
get-
over with Lamba.
Just
Bro.
because the Nigerian in me wants to come out.
Oh, I
So
think
like I said in the previous one of the previous categories, I think for me the category wins. For me. Because you see this category, you see the people, see how we're reacting to different names that were mentioned. I promise you that everybody on this category deserves their own award based on the their contribution
Yeah.
to
Yeah, yeah.
how we have received the music over the past year.
Yeah.
So for me, the category wins. We need more platforms to celebrate these people and their active contribution to how people consume and receive the music. So, category
Pheabian,
for me.
who's your top pick here?
DJ YK.
YK Mule.
Easy.
Like,
I think there's a general
that's
there's a general
sweet.
consensus.
There's no argument.
like,
Yet.
So
Even
yeah,
though, even though it's the same rhythm, but
It's
Well,
a-
we
It's a
see
bop.
involved, so we have to be involved.
Wow.
Both
But
white
you
people.
guys are forgetting something.
What?
KY's released Highway last year.
Was it last
Sure.
year? 2020.
Yeah, last year.
And
It was
can we talk about
December.
KYs for
It
a
was
minute?
2020.
It was late. It was the
December.
final 10 days of December.
Yeah.
Can we talk
It's
about
2020.
KYs?
So it's- yeah.
I feel
It
like
was a
KY
hit that period, so it didn't
Totally.
really enter 2021. if
It did.
It did. It did.
It
actually.
did.
Which
Let me remind you of something.
Did.
Let me remind you of
It
something.
because I was
Do you know
Abuja
when
then.
that record blew? Do you know when that record blew?
December, January.
You know when that
What
record
I'm
blew?
saying.
That record blew on January 1 when Sydney Talker and that chick danced to the record on Instagram. That was when the record exploded.
Caramel plug.
Yes. That was when the record exploded.
I don't think so.
Over 1 million
I'm not even
views
sure I watched
on something that wasn't
video.
reels. Something that wasn't reels. 1 million views. You can check his page.
For KYs, I feel like KYs deserves a honorable.
I think maybe
Mention.
even KYs, maybe not YK. YK
YK
had
is just in
moments.
Nigerian in me, but if you really want
Yeah,
to deep it,
You see, KYs
Yeah.
If you really want
has
to
been
deep it.
someone that has systemically
It's been-
been
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
And as a
about
consistent.
He influenced the hype man culture as well.
Influences.
yeah,
Yes.
true.
Definitively.
Definitive. I think it's KYs in fact. Cultural impact. Yes, Warisi and some of these other things. But when
Or is it hot?
yeah. I think it's KYs.
Has
I think it's
defined the
KYs.
standard.
But then
This is
again, it's
KYs.
the year in review. Don't forget.
Yeah, but
Motolani,
do you-
Tej,
the
thank you
impact-
very much. But wow.
I mean, we are talking about so if you are looking at DJs, right?
Tastemakers.
Tastemakers.
See, we know.
But
if
he
we're
made a
talking-
taste
if
with
we're talking
Warisi.
tastemaker,
He did.
Right?
brought
He did.
the OGs in this.
He did.
in this thing.
But then we can't say that because of that,
Yeah.
you are defining an entire taste. Because look at it this way. KYS is a hit maker.
Yeah.
That's also one of the biggest trends of last year was hype man culture.
That he
Literally,
defined.
one of the biggest records during that time was you don't know KYs.
Yeah. What
True,
do-
true, true,
Ah,
true.
that's
I can't
call it,
disagree.
bro.
I
Shout out
can't
to Toby
disagree.
Shan.
I can't disagree.
Shut up.
So at the end of the day,
But like I said,
Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the
It's-
category.
it's
I still
getting
stand
it.
I
with
love the
that.
category.
Shout
Yes.
out.
I think it's
Yeah.
KYs.
So let's move away from music, and we're going to creator of the year. Creators have been very vital in making music pop, especially on platforms like Triller and
Not
TikTok.
those niggas that are drinking palm oil.
So yeah, we have here Jenny Frank, Kiki, Lasisi Elenu, Cotillo,
There's only one winner.
Mogelinks, and
Only one winner. Only one winner.
Official.
Only one winner.
So I'll start with Motolani.
Oh, courtesy you. Easy.
True.
Easy.
Courty for me.
Tej,
Easy.
you seem to be
Just to gauge the P. But like the reason why I even pick Cotty is because of the type of content, not
That she
necessarily
makes,
because of the impact of
The
what
content.
her content does.
Let's
to
talk about
music.
the impact too, because
So I
that's
feel
a
like
lot.
so I feel like the conversation should, if we're talking about the impact of what the content is on the music and the reception of the music, I think it's a different
Yeah, I
conversation.
agree.
Okay, yeah.
I
You
agree.
get what I mean?
That's a very valid argument.
Yeah. So
Then you have the Jenny Franks of TikTok. That's true. If we're looking at it based on.
So is creator based on
the
just
impact
TikTok
of
people or
music.
just like
I feel like
Creators,
As
for
long
this
as you're
category,
creative.
it should be who the kind of people that when they
then why is Lasisi not
when
on
they
your
amplify
list?
a song.
No,
It's
no,
on
why
this.
is he not on his top 2 list? Like,
What?
who,
I didn't
who
mention
would you
him.
mention after Kotsi? I want to know.
Like I mentioned Kotsu because she's my favorite, but I don't even think she has made me like a song.
So are we
That's
talking
that's
about music
interesting.
So,
impact?
But I
um,
think
Are we
what
talking
she
about
has
music
done
impact?
is she has been able to, like, when you Cotty features different people, right?
Has
Not
she
even
made
like
you
that
like, has
song.
Kotsu made you like a song?
Yeah, actually, yes, she has.
That's not true.
Yes, she has.
Uh,
Instagram. If you
She has
follow her
not,
IG,
if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
Check
but
out
we
her
like her
vlogs.
content. It's
Yes.
great content.
Yes.
It's really it's stuff that I will go out of my busy schedule
To watch.
I think it's so for Cotty, it might not be about the music, but
Yeah.
more of the
Quality
personality.
content.
Okay, so
And
now like, back to Kolapo. What defines this category?
Just creators that made impact. Whether
On the music.
yeah, not just music, wherever. they
Whatever
are.
field,
Yeah.
because for example, you have a Kiki there, and it's not necessarily music.
Exactly.
You have Lasisi, so I think it's in their space, in their
Okay,
field.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
To be honest, I feel like some of these. I'm sorry. Some of these guys are boring.
I think there's more impactful
Sorry.
people.
I think
content
some
category.
of them. The problem is.
Care to mention names?
No.
Oh,
They'll call my name again. I mean, I don't mind, but this is not my platform. If it was Twitter, I'll call your name, right? So I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. I feel like some of these guys are boring. I think I think some of them. The problem is. 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 A Jennifer, for example, is a young person who is making a film now, a short film, if I'm not wrong, right? Kiki, I'm not really a fan of. Lasisi, yes, is okay, but not exactly. The thing with Koti is, if in terms of content creation, she doesn't create content every week or every day. She creates content, and anytime the content is about to come out, there's an entire generation of cool kids that are waiting on it.
Waiting to
I've seen that
consume it.
YouTube comments. Just
That are
if you,
waiting on it.
it's crazy, man.
It's like
It's a breath of
it's a
fresh
culture.
air
The girl,
because it's different.
I don't even think the content is. I don't think it's because personally, I don't think it's great. Like it's not.
It's a breath of fresh
mind-blowing,
air
but
because
it's
it's
different.
different.
Like
That's what it is.
It's a different approach, and the difference, she's doing it properly
Yeah.
with what she has.
Yeah.
So, and that's when something is different, people gravitate towards it. So I think easily in this category is her, because in terms of impactful conversations, like these guys contribute to quality records on TikTok. I mean, records blow. But the question is, has TikTok really blown a record in Nigeria? Let's be honest. The records don't blow on TikTok. The videos are created on TikTok, but the records blow on Instagram Reels, Facebook, and Twitter, because that's where more Nigerians are. That's a fact. How many Nigerians are using TikTok? People might consume the videos outside Nigeria, but in terms of blowing a record to Nigerians,
So
Instagram
this
Reels.
is this connects back to the question I asked KP regarding if this category is connected to music.
Not music alone, no.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think
That's
it's
it.
I think it's correct. It has to be correct.
Yeah. And
Alright.
she's just like what sorry, just to backtrack a little bit. She's different, and you mentioned something about that approach, right? So I remember I think the first video of Coty that I saw was something about I moved out of my parents' house. Nobody's doing that. Let's just be honest.
That's what I was about to say.
Nobody is doing that in Africa. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Ridiculous
the way,
to subscribers.
the way
though.
she,
Ridiculous
the
numbers.
angle,
Ridiculous
the,
views, man.
the way she
Ridiculous
takes what it is that she wants to pass across to our viewers is just
She
completely
has a
different.
unique selling
And even
point.
when she's putting like an artist on, say she's doing a video with Victoni, she's doing a video with Black Sheriff, she's just going to take it out. She's just going to take it another way. She's not going to say, "Oh, Black Sheriff is on mine." It can be, "I met a 20-year-old Ghanaian who doesn't want to." Do you understand? He's different. So it has to be Coty for me, like hands down. And if we're even using the year in review,
Yeah,
the
it's
growth
got it. Yeah, it's got it.
Yeah,
Easy.
I agree.
Easy.
I agree.
Easy.
So
Sorry, I think Coty gives that vibe of so what you thought you wanted to do, but you didn't do it, but I'll do it better. I think she gives that idea of what you'd have probably thought of at some point in your life, but you know fit do so she now did it and made it her own. I think that's what makes her different. She's like so relatable, and it's just there's no way you can like tap onto that vibe that she's giving, and that's just beautiful to see. So, but aside from Coty, Lasisi is somebody that we should be looking at because that guy is fucking hilarious. But aside from Coty, I think Lasisi is a genius also. It has mad views sometimes. I'm like, how does he do it? He has some type of audience that you're like, he made it his own. So Lasisi is a fucking genius if you ask me. But Coty takes that category too. So
all right, so this is where the last fight in the film between the actor
Let's go, mosh
and the
pit.
bulls.
Whoever started that thing? Anyway?
Probably someone just said it in Alaba that year. And
Who even
everybody
said
started
that
saying,
the pronunciation is bulls?
You know?
He's a boss.
you know? So here we have Revelation of the Year.
Is this next rated?
No, Revelation of the Year.
Let's not get into that.
So the Revelation of the Year is, we have here, drum roll please. We have Ruga,
okay,
I like where
Victoni,
this is going.
okay,
Musa Keys,
definitely,
Young Stunner,
okay.
Jackie, and Basket Mouth. So I want to start for Motolani.
Please read it out again.
Victoni,
Yeah.
Ruga, Basket Mouth, Musa Keys, Young Stunner, and Jackie. Ichok. We'll get back to Motolani. Tej,
Bruh, please go.
So for a different reason and for a biased reason, I'll go with Basket. Basket as a revelation, I think is very important. I liked how he was able to not just produce one album, but two albums.
two fantastic albums.
That were staple to cultural relevance. This is from a comedian. Yeah, people who are OGs will know that Basket was in the music game for a minute, but to be able to drop, even your favorites don't drop solid
Projects that
bodies
good.
of work.
Care to mention something?
I'm not doing that. Thank you. They
Shout
pay
out
me,
for
bro.
it.
But yeah, for the sake of this perspective, it's important to highlight what Basket has done. That's my pick.
I love this.
Joan.
Please, let's take it back to Motolani. I really want to hear your opinion.
My
on it.
opinion on
We'll
this.
get.
Actually,
Um,
I have no comment.
I think it's a tough one. It's as
It
tough
is.
as
But
it
pick
gets.
one if you
It
have
is.
to
Pick
pick
one
one.
at
If
top.
I had to pick one,
Yeah.
I like the argument.
Gun to your head.
Gun to my head. I'm going to go with Musa Keys.
I love see Motolani.
Hit
you
me
marry
and tell me why.
Because-
Hit me and tell me why.
The point is, so from the point, I get what you're saying because this. I'm sorry to use a basketball reference.
That's fine.
Draymond Green had a video yesterday where he was explaining why Jordan Poole,
On this podcast.
on this podcast, could be like the most improved player over like Darius Garland, Jamorant, and DeJounte Murray. He was talking about the fact that this guy was number 29th pick. Nobody expected him. Darius Garland was a number 2 or number 3 pick. Jamorant was a number 2 pick and was in MVP conversations. And now, DeJounte Murray, it was already averaging. It's only 7 points better. But this guy, who is Jordan Poole, was on his way out of the league. All of a sudden, he comes back and becomes this superstar, right? So I'm going to use the same reference for this, for baskets, in the sense that nobody I did an interview with him recently where I apologized to him on camera because when they called me for that album, I was like, Basket must release an album.
Yabasi.
I told him on camera, I was like, nah. He was like, so you're that guy? I said, yes, I was that guy. I said, nah. But 2 albums, quality, right? But Musa Keys has crossed borders. Bro.
He has.
And that's not beans.
He has.
It's not
Especially
beans.
this our Nigerian border.
Exactly.
Shout out to the travelers.
Bro, right? The other person, the underlying person in this part is Ruga. 2 projects during the year in review.
Yep. I can't. Maybe we should just talk about everybody because I feel like everybody in this
Bro,
category deserves.
I mean, yeah. To be honest,
because Ruga did a
To be
madness. Ruga did a
Motolani
madness.
pick one. The name of
Musa
the
Keys,
Lord.
bro.
Musa Keys,
Okay,
Motolani,
thank you very much.
Pheabian.
Why are you picking?
Musa
Let's go for
Keys,
our
my
next.
love. Musa Keys. That's the reason I want to marry you now in this category.
I'm not married.
Because
bro.
wait.
You don't like me. You don't like me like that.
No, I don't like it like that. but-
Exactly.
This is based on like
Your
my
beliefs.
own. No, come on.
Religious belief.
Bias and my own personal. I'll go for Ruga. All right. I'll go for Ruga.
Because he sings off pants music.
Please.
He sings for the
Because-
woman's
Bossa
waist.
wine music.
Because two
Gallus.
solid
Man, a
EPs
Gallus.
with bops.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, when he dropped his second EP, at first people thought it was gonna be what was the first song? I think it was Snapchat that was picking up at
Yeah.
first, and then we went to Dior, and then it almost seemed like we were confused. Dior, Snapchat, Dior, 2 solid bangers.
Start giving us bounce.
And
First
and
bounce never
that was
come
off
out
of the
to-
first. Exactly, he had Abu Dhabi.
Bounce
Snapchat,
hadn't
he had
left.
Bounce. Like
That's so the
Yeah.
project.
Shout out to
it's so
Ruga.
insane that
Shout out
if
to
you
Ruga.
watch Ruga perform anywhere,
Yeah.
It's
anywhere,
tough. I
it
feel like
shuts it down.
everyone. Yeah.
Crowd, everybody's like Ruga.
He has the energy,
You might not,
though.
you might not
Yeah.
think about it maybe when you're just listening to the music or just watching him on your screen, but watch him perform as well. No, Ruga's.
And don't touch the man when he performs, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Amen.
Don't touch
that.
the man
Don't
and
touch
any
the
man or woman
Amen to
while they
that.
perform.
Thank you. God
Amen.
bless you.
Well,
But
yes.
yeah, I feel like
But
everyone in this
Ruga-
category
This category,
deserves
I think, is the toughest.
deserves the
It's tough.
accolade.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
it's a beautiful
It's tough.
For Musa
category.
Keys, easy for crossing borders.
Ruga for me.
Yeah.
John, you haven't
An
picked.
African
Oh,
award.
Musa Keys, obviously.
Oh, okay.
I love Ruga, but Musa Keys, please.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you for having us.
Um,
having us.
Ted Jumola, Joan, KP, Pheabian,
Nigga tell you.
Motolani. Thank you guys for coming and keep voting. Voting closes 1st of May.
Get your PVCs.
Get your PVC for the real election.
Thank you.
That will change your life so that you can keep listening to good music. Thank you.